Hi, folks. This is Richard Ricky Garcia, and as part of our effort for the Sky Ryders Making a Difference campaign, I thought it'd be fun to reminisce, record, and share stories from our drum corps days. I'm joined by Caroline Redmond Medlin, who marched Sky Ryders in 1992 and 1993. She's going to tell us about her saddest day on tour. Caroline.
Okay. The saddest day on tour was the very last day, Saturday, August 21st, 1993. And none of us knew it at the time, but that was the very last day of Sky Ryders as a drum corps. That was the day after the very last performance and the very last day that group of people were ever together and that the organization was together, because it disbanded maybe 2 months right after that. So we started out the day knowing that we had not made finals. We had performed at semifinals the day before, and we got up knowing that there was no rehearsal today, no performance today. See, I'm already gonna cry. But what we did before we went off to watch finals was they had the whole horn line circle up in this nice shady spot in front of the school. And they had the guard and the pit and the staff and everybody sit in the center. And of course, I always chose to sit in front of the contras. That was my favorite place to be, as close as I could get, right in front of the contras, where you can feel your bones vibrate from the sound. That's the place I want to be every show. So much so that I married a tuba player, and my son's a tuba player.
Nice. Nice.
Don't know how that worked out. That was just luck. But they circled up and they played through the whole show. Got to hear it one more time. The show that year was called New Horizons. And I'm not sure what the music was. It didn't really have a theme beyond that. It wasn't a musical. You know, the staff had told us, we're going to take Sky Ryders in a new direction. You know, the musicals aren't getting us anywhere. We're going to try to go back to our roots and do something symphonic. The judges didn't appreciate it. All of the judges' comments we got all summer long were things like, why aren't you doing a musical? Sky Ryders always does musicals. You're supposed to be doing a musical. We're like, well, we're not doing a musical, so just judge our show, please, and shut up about the musicals. So after they played through the show, then they played Rainbow with all the age outs and the vets in the center, and we bawled. I couldn't even sing. My throat was closing up. I was crying so hard, crying through the whole thing. And then we went around to the back of the school where the pit was set up, and the horn line did an arc behind the pit, and the staff and the age out sat up front. And they played through the whole show one more time with the pit so that they could play their parts too. And then we went off to the stadium and enjoyed watching finals. And we get down to the end where I was pleased to discover that they invited all the age outs from all the corps onto the field, even the ones that had not made finals. And then I was sad to discover that I was the only Sky Ryders age out that walked out there. The others, I don't know, they didn't care. Some of them were rookie age outs and it didn't mean as much to them. Some of them just thought, well, we didn't make finals, so screw it. I'm going to go do something else. So luckily, I met up with some friends that I had made from the Cavaliers color guard. And they stood with me and we took some pictures, and made me feel a little bit better, you know, being the only one out there. And after the ceremony, we went out, you know, back behind the field where the buses were, and we were having some food and talking to people. And we met up with another friend of a friend, and he just happened to be wearing a vintage Wizard of Oz t-shirt. It was silkscreen black and white. had the green Emerald City in the background with the main characters in the front. Dorothy the lion, the scarecrow, the Tin Man. And I gushed over his shirt. I told him my story, being in Sky Riders and being the only age out on the field and being so sad that I couldn't ever do this again. And told him that his shirt was just, the coolest thing I'd ever seen, and how meaningful it was. And he literally gave me the shirt off his back. He stood there in the middle of that hot Mississippi night, pulled off his t-shirt and handed it to me. And so I've got a picture of him and I standing there with him being shirtless and me holding up the shirt. You think it's just an expression, but he did it. He literally gave me the shirt off his back because it meant so much to me. And I still have that shirt. It is folded carefully in my drawer and it still fits. I can still wear it.
Excellent.
It has a tiny little hole. It's getting a little worn, so I don't wear it very often, but I can pull it out for memorable occasions.
Thank you for representing and being that lone Sky Rider out on that field. Because obviously the Corps folded 2 months later, so yeah. Gosh, I was so moved by that I just thought to myself, she was quite literally the last one out on the DCI competition, on a DCI competition field. That is a what an honor to have been that last person on a DCI competition field as a Sky Riders age out. So you
well,
are
I hope we can bring the Corps back to life, and there can be many others with many more memories.
So you absolutely, that certainly is the goal. But thank you for being the chosen one to be that last person on there. That's truly an honor. Thanks again. Fantastic story. Absolutely fantastic. Thanks, Caroline.